the Detroit Tigers 10 times on Google.
Let me give you a better example. Let's say pink. You look for pink.
Pink.
And that's their example. They say pink and Jaguar were their two examples. Do you want Jaguar the cat or Jaguar the car? Do you want pink the color or pink the singer? And depending on your previous searches, Google puts you in what I call a data ghetto. Your ghetto, if you've searched for Jaguars and you meant cars in the past, you are going to see nothing but Jaguar results for cars. And the cool thing about Startpage is Startpage removes the data ghetto. It gives you the Google results without the personalization. Now, you can call that personalization and optimization. A lot of people see it that way. Or you could call it censorship, because a lot of people see it that way.
They're editorializing what they want you to see.
That's right. But they say to you, we're helping you to weed out irrelevant results. We're giving you optimized results that are relevant to you personally. And that's why we want to read your Gmail, and that's why we want to watch what you're doing on your Android phone, so we can be relevant and timely and give you what you need when you need it.
What's the criteria for that? One search, 3 searches of any specific topic, where then they start placing it for you?
Well, that we don't know. That we actually don't know.
Right.
And that's all proprietary algorithms that they come up with. But the reality is people are getting different search results, and when that starts to bug you, go to Startpage and you can search Google and you will get the exact same results as everybody else searching Google for that topic, because it breaks you out of that data bubble and gives you the pure results without being personalized to you and your interests.
Truly amazing, though. The technology is unbelievable. So what happens when the grid goes down? We get cooked by an X-flare.
Gulp.
It's all gone.
Gulp. Aren't we dependent on this thing? It's getting scary.
Yeah, that's the problem. Something else is going to happen one day.
You know, our whole communication infrastructure, our whole financial infrastructure for the whole nation is now based on this internet.
Tell a young person today who owns a smartphone to go one day without the smartphone. One day where they can't post on Facebook or Twitter or text their friends or go on the web. One day, just tell them, put the phone away for one day. I bet they go crazy.
I know. And you know, I was in a Starbucks in Massachusetts with my husband recently, and there must have been 40 people. It was jam-packed. 10 o'clock in the morning, jam-packed with people. And I looked around, and out of those 40 people, they were mostly sitting like ones, twos, and threes at a table. There were only 2 people in that entire, 2 tables in that entire Starbucks where every single person was not staring at a screen. And one woman was reading a book, and the other 2 people were having a conversation with each other. And I went, wow. And this is people sitting together, like you'd see a couple, a man and a woman, and they're just staring at their laps.
I know. I saw a couple, a table of 4 at a restaurant, at a nice restaurant. Each one had their little smartphones with them, and not one of the 4, not one was looking at the other person. They were all texting away. I mean,
wild.
It was bizarre.
You know, and this kind of ties into sort of the big picture that I see, and I've said this since, 2003 on your show. We are moving so quickly to a place where what I call God's green earth, you know, the green grass, the sky, animals, things that God made and put here for us, the sea, the sky, the sun, the air, the wind, all of that is becoming meaningless to people who spend all their time indoors. They don't get the vitamin D exposure, which leads to all these chronic, problems that people have. They're not getting the sun. They're not getting the air. There are teenage kids who never go outside and play. They go to school. They come home on the bus. They sit and they play computer games all night, and they do their homework indoors. And as we get further and further into these fake worlds, one of the things
these they're virtual worlds.
Yeah. I rail against, on my radio program, I've done whole shows on World of Warcraft.
How do they find you, by the way?
How do they find my radio show?
Yeah.
Yeah. CatherineAlbrecht.com, but nobody can spell that.
Nobody can.
No. I know Catherine.
It took me 3 years to learn how to pronounce it.
Is there like a C in there? Is there like a Y in there? It's terrible, but it's Katherne. But you don't have to remember that because we have a new way to get to it. It's KMA, those are my initials, KMAshow.com. Can I tell you a funny story about Aaron Russo?
God rest his soul again, yeah.
So Aaron Russo calls me up and he says, you don't know me, but I'm a Hollywood producer. I knew he was so gruff.
Oh, he did some great movies, by the way.
He did The Rose with Bette Midler and Trading Places with Eddie Murphy. He was like totally in that scene. So this guy calls me up. He says, I got your number from, a mutual friend, and I hear you know all about RFID. You want to be in my movie? And I say, well, I don't know. Tell me more. So anyway, he says, well, I'll email you what you need. And he says, what's your email address? And I said, it's KMA, and I'm not going to give that or I'm going to get inundated, but I said, KMA at blah, 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 because those are my initials. And he said, KMA? And I said, yeah. He said, don't you know what that means? George?
Don't repeat it.
I won't, but I about fell over. It was, kiss my,
Yeah, really.
And Aaron Russo, coming from him, it was so hilarious. And it was so, Aaron was such a gruff guy. He had a heart of gold, but he was the most, he could really knock him back with the best of them. And I got to tell you, ever since then, KMAshow.com, I picture myself out there when I'm doing my protest, and I've got the signs outside of Walmart protesting the RFID people. I always think of Aaron Russo.
He did well for himself in the business for a while, didn't he? And then
I loved him. He was a wonderful guy. And by the way, if your listeners have not seen America from Freedom to Fascism, I'm sure at this point it's all over the internet. Watch the movie. And if you haven't had your primaries yet, and Ron Paul is going to be on your ballot, check out the movie, because you will see why Ron Paul's message is so critical, and it's all in that film. Unbelievable. Aaron was so far ahead of his time.
I would hope somebody would pick him up as a VP running mate if he doesn't get the nomination.
Well, they don't want him, though.
No.
Because he is threatening the power structure, the people who are paying the money. I mean, who is funding Newt? What did he just get? $10 million from, big-time money interests out of Vegas? I mean, they're not going to go for Ron Paul. They don't want him in there because he's going to take away their gravy train.
Yeah, but he's going to whittle away. He's not going to give up.
I believe that if the Republican Party really wanted to win, that they would run Ron Paul against Barack Obama, and Ron Paul would win. And I know this because I've talked to liberal Barack Obama supporters, previous Barack Obama supporters, liberals who say, I would vote for Ron Paul over any of the Republicans and over Barack Obama because he's the only candidate that's going to actually end the wars. And see, that's why they elected Obama, because they wanted an end to the wars, and Obama has done the opposite. He got his Nobel Peace Prize and then got us involved in even more wars. And so those people are disillusioned. They look at, Newt and Romney and all those guys, and say, those guys aren't going to
Well, they did a reverse. He finally got us out of Iraq.
Well, yeah, and it got us into Libya. we could go on and on about that. But there are people who are total Democrats, and they have told me, I don't support a lot of the stuff Ron Paul believes in because I'm not a Republican, but if it were down to the wire between those two guys, I would vote for Ron Paul in a heartbeat.
I like Ron Paul. I've told people on this program, he's been on the show twice with me already. I mean, he's a good guy. He's honest. He's an American. He's a constitutionalist.
And, my husband turned me on to Ron Paul back in 1999 when he was a congressman out of Texas.
Let's just hope he gets enough delegates to go to the convention so at least his platform might get heard.
Shake it up.
That's what he's got to be able to do. I don't think he's going to get the nomination, but, if he can go there with 500 delegates...
Wouldn't it be awesome? And, this whole Newt thing, I actually posted on my blog. So people go to my website, KMAshow.com, and then click on the blog. You probably have to go back a couple of pages.
And by the way, I still think it's going to be tough for any candidate to beat President Obama right now. That's my prophecy of the future.
But, George, the economy, it's all about, what do they say? It's the economy.
That's what got George Bush Sr., but... You know what? November's a long way away, and people change their minds, as you well know, very, very fast. If things even have the appearance of being better, it's going to be a tough one. Catherine, we're going to come back in a moment. We're going to talk about how you used natural remedies to supplement your conventional cancer treatment. You combined both of them, and we're going to talk about that on Coast to Coast AM. A little bit later on, we're going to open up all the phone lines for you from all over the planet so people can ask Catherine Albrecht questions about privacy issues, about the internet, and about natural treatments. We'll be back.
All right,
the Coast Facebook page with thousands of...
if you want to hear people's questions, I don't know how that's going to go. I haven't heard it yet. But that'll maybe be next. Maybe I won't do it. I don't know. I don't want to kill you guys with the show. But You know, when they come out with the good, the thing is sometimes the calls are good, sometimes they, you know, they're like wasting time. Sometimes I think they're people that waste time on purpose because the guy's really good and he's really into stuff and they derail the conversation with nonsense. But in any case, I hope you're listening to this while you're driving and not sitting there watching it because it's pretty boring. Yesterday, at least the clouds were nice. I don't know, you know, it's kind of cloudy and crappy today. But a rainy day is a day that I don't paint because you can't paint on rain. So a rainy day is a good day now. Better than just feeding the grass and everything that we need for life. But so if you're driving, I hope you've been doing some deep breathing, and maybe on the exhale you either say the vowels. They're the most universal in human species. A-I-O-U, A-I-O-U, or you know, Om or whatever. You know, they do it for a reason. It resonates through the body. We're mostly water. Water is life, and we are mostly full of it. And the more you resonate the proper frequencies, the better everything works. That's what we're figuring out. It all comes down to frequency, and we are definitely changed by it. That's why they've always chanted throughout history, because there's a point to it. They've been hiding this from us, but we are now learning it again. So, on your exhale, nice and slow. It doesn't have to be very loud, but any type of a hum vibration, hopefully in a higher range. It activates your different chakras. 528 is the frequency of love and light and the sun and life. It's the middle of the visible spectrum because that's where, you know, it's green to yellow. That's where life begins in all the plant life, which gives us life, chlorophyll. So, there, you know, you go on YouTube, 528 hertz, or 832 or 852 or 936. They all resonate with the different chakras of the body, which is the energy flow, which is not hokey Chinese nonsense. It's stuff that they've known for thousands of years because it's all about frequency. So, you go on YouTube, you punch in the different frequency, and you listen to it, and you relax, and you do some deep breathing, and you get into your right side mind. So, in any case, enough babbling. Have a beautiful day. Do your deep breathing. Drink plenty of water, and live another day. And hopefully, I will see you in the morning if we are fortunate enough to wake up tomorrow. Until then, remember, L-I-V-I-N, and I'm out.